Good afternoon, folks. This is going to be day 23 for my 30-day world. Yet again, I'm going to be trying something a bit new, a bit different. I really hope it works. The main thing to keep in mind is that there will be changes going on to everything, possibly like new mics and stuff like that. So I just hope that you put up with it, yeah? Thank you very much. Now, the question for the 10th of April 2018 is, what prominent fantastical bodies of water are there? As I've said before in my map making episode, there is an inland sea that verges into an ocean. Now, the exact details of this are not all the way put down properly, almost to the point where, with the exception of particular place names of some islands and topographical features, there is no name for the sea itself. And this is mainly because of development as a GM. I'm not very interested in doing aquatic type campaigns quite yet. It's not to say that I'm never going to come up with it. As I said, there is this present idea of nautical adventures that you can kind of see, you know, in the map generally, but I'm not quite there yet. I'm more interested in focusing on fleshing out this rather small area of the 5 free cities. So mostly this inland sea sadly does not have much of an identity outside of its relationship to the 5 free cities area. In fact, I've not really had much thought of it beyond that it does extend further down towards the Finger Point Peninsula in relation to what it actually touches. There are several areas which are used as kind of staging points. Meridian and Winternight are the two major port cities that really maritime endeavour can use with relative efficiency. There are, of course, other locations, but none as best suited for what's needed. The waters of the Finger Point Peninsula are much more intrepid, and actually it can be honestly more problems than it's worth, considering that the Finger Point is a very mountainous area, very difficult to transport larger number of goods further on. Now, those are some basic geographical and political facts about the inland sea. But let me bring in some of them things that really are the reasons why I came up with these things, which are the themes. The big reason why I put this here, and I made 2 of the 5 free cities port cities, because I wanted to reinforce that this world, this area of the land, was still in the throes of establishing itself. Following that idea of the trend, it would stand to reason that sea travel would mainly be coastal, local, and in some cases, yes, oceanic, but very dangerous and risky. Honestly, anybody who would be travelling by ocean would be considered to not be coming back. So what little is known about the inland sea are generally the most coastal topographical features of the land. As I've mentioned before, the Breton Hermitage is the place where the people of the ocean live, very close by to Meridian. This is more of a small island chain or an inlet rather than a singular large island. And the relationship between Meridian and the Breton Hermitage is very long-standing and has a relationship of partnership than vassalage or any other thing that you would expect from a large city-state that borders on a rather small, ostensibly island state. There is also the Consigari cliff edge, which is a very steep, difficult, hard to traverse coastline that the 2 city-states of Winternight and Meridian border. In addition to all of this, there is also the Lancashire. This is a cove, a massive, great dugout section of the Sawtooth that actually verges straight into the inland ocean. This cove has been reasonably recently discovered to have a large deposit of sulfur, which has turned this relatively little used, relatively kind of no man's landish area into a great strategic and economic powerhouse. Winternight has powered itself almost entirely on the exportation of this sulfur. It has also led to the actual destruction of the Winternight political economy because people ostensibly just arrived in and started getting involved. Winternight has become this great economic and political powerhouse, despite the fact that it's actually very, very weak on the inside. It's outstripped Meridian at the expense of its independence. And most of the oligarchs on the council have, in some way, shape or form, become put into the pocket of outside forces, them being any of the 5 free cities, or Maiden, or other peoples from regions unknown. And that is the end of my answer for today's question. I hope you did enjoy it, and I do hope that changing the time of its release around 6 o'clock in the afternoon has really been able to kind of get this into more people's hands. I want people to start watching these a bit more, and I'm really trying to shop this around as to kind of build a community of some description. If there's anything that's really interested you about these things that I'm talking about over however long, really reach out, talk. So remember, give me the like and the subscribe and the comment and validate my effort to do this. Anyway, guys, so on and so forth, and I love you all. Ciao.